The Cleveland Browns have played the Houston Texans. And guess who was in attendance? Deshaun Watson. All right. So Deshaun Watson played his first game since January 3rd, 2021. It's a long time. Against his former team, the Texans in Houston. A lot of protesters outside. We all know his situation. All right. He actually, his game was pretty, I'm not sure, but he was 12 of 22, 54% from the field, 131 yards in the game, 0 TDs, 1 interception, got sacked once, 28 QBR, 53 QB rating. He did run the ball 7 times, 21 yards, but the Browns did win 27-14 with 1 punt return and 2 defensive TDs. So thank God for them, right? So he served his punishment. He's here. We're going to talk about a letter grade. All right. So, Tomo, what's going on? I didn't say that. Sorry.
You gotta say it in the Marvin Gaye voice, because really, what's going on, man? If it wasn't for their defense, y'all know they could have lost that game. They really could have lost that game. I know they say you gotta knock off the rust, but she was looking like Russell Wilson out there. Man, hopefully next game he could pick it up, because Jacoby Brissett, it was one moment in the game they showed him on the sideline. He had his helmet on. I think they brought him in for a QB sneak. I was like, man, they really don't believe in you, man. It's getting ugly. But hopefully his nerves could settle down. I know he was talking about this previously on Saturday, that maybe he would look rusty in the first half and then look better in the second half. He just looked rusty the entire game. There was also videos that came out when he was in training camp where he looked just as rusty. Passes was low. Like everything, like he was just zooming down to the ground. Maybe he was throwing a Nerf ball in his time off. I don't know. A lot of stress was going on in that situation. The rushing game from the Browns didn't even look the same. Like the whole team just looked out of sync. Maybe it was the fact that it was in Houston. It was him. All of the debacle, the turmoil that went on with that situation. Man, Watson, you get an F from me, man. You get an F from me on that game. You got to do better. Amari Cooper did not get traded from Dallas to have Jacoby Brissett look better than you game one. You got to do better, man. Pick it up.
Woo! I wasn't expecting an F from you. Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he did take the Browns to the Super Bowl, though. If y'all understand what I mean when I said that, because he did play terrible yesterday. But I mean, what you expect from somebody that hasn't played football in 700 days? It's been 700 days since the last time this man played a game of football. He hasn't worked out. And if he has worked out, he hasn't been with the team. He's been working out by himself. And honestly, you're not in football shape unless you're actually playing football. So he hasn't been playing football. So I didn't expect him to be great yesterday. I didn't expect him to be that bad either. We saw those highlights in the offseason when he was throwing the ball out of bounds all the time, throwing it too low, overthrowing players. He looked rusty. I mean, and that's what y'all should have expected. I don't know why anyone would have thought that he would come back into a top 5 form this season. And I've been saying that all year. Actually, he may be a top 5 talent, but right now we can't give him that because he's been gone for about 2 years. And that game yesterday showed that he's not a top 5 quarterback at this moment. He has to play better. And I think next year, after he has an off season, he'll be better. But right now, no, I'm gonna give him a C- for that game yesterday because he played bad, but I didn't expect much because he's been gone for 700 days. And I'm gonna kind of disagree with the run game. The run game didn't look great, but it still was good enough. I mean, Chubb went for 80 yards, Hunt went for 56, so that's over 100 yards together. So it's not like they didn't run for over 100 yards. They didn't run for 200 yards, but they still ran for over 100 yards yesterday. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was good. It was good enough.
All right. He was very, very, very rusty. Yeah, I can say that. I agree with y'all. He threw 3 passes to the ground, especially one to Amari Cooper that was on 3rd down. And he threw one on the sideline to the ground. He just threw one to the one of the running backs to the ground. He has to do another one to the ground, but Kareem Hunt caught it. So he looked rusty, but he did convert 6 3rd downs through the air. I will give him that. I like the fact that the Browns running the ball 38 times. They told themselves we're not going to, be pass happy. We're going to stick to our formula, which is be a run first team. But I give him a D minus. Not gonna give him an F. I give him a D minus because he's rusty. I mean, it's his first game, like David said, in 700 years. But I didn't expect him to be this terrible throughout the whole game. He threw a bad. He need to stay rusty to next year. He threw a bad interception in the red zone. I mean, like in the end zone, they were about to score. They did a good drive. He was playing good, and he threw a pick right in the end zone. Terrible. So I saw flashes though. Like he hit Amari Cooper on a third down play across the middle of the field. He was running the ball. He actually on the first drive he actually made somebody miss a tackle, but it was a bad throw, but it was under pressure. He showed like his elusiveness. So I saw flashes. I think he'll be better, and I think he will be good for his team going forward.
Look, man, I gave him an F for fantasy. He messed up my fantasy week. Nick Chubb was averaging double points. All my fantasy owners out there, you all took a hit with Nick Chubb. And for the people who stored him on your team, 5 points. It's playoff season, man. We can't have that. We can't have that. That's why he got an F. It was personal. I give him a D minus, but it's still fantasy. We need flashes of old Deshaun ASAP.
Well, that's your fault. You should have started Justin Fields instead of him.
You see what I'm saying? Look at the F's is everywhere. Fields.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.